The overall impact, I think, has been that it has really changed people's perceptions of wider achievement. In the past, I think it was you had to be part of a club, you had to come in with cups and medals that you had achieved an award. And I think that has been the biggest impact that's made people realise that it's not that. It's about celebrating skills for life, learning and work, and that by helping the community, being involved in litter picking, going and helping an elderly neighbour, that these are wider achievements and that they will be celebrated. For our children, it's certainly made them far more proactive in their learning, certainly engaged in their learning, and starting to see that successes that they do have outside school, whether it is parts, clubs and achievements of awards, or whether it's just helping an elderly relative round their house dusting, they realise that if they're proactive, then it is helping others and it is making a difference, and that it's not just been celebrated at home, but it's also been celebrated at school, and that we recognise that. This has really encouraged the children. They're enthusiastic and they are so very keen to come and tell you. What we've also found is that in our wider achievement sections within our journey books, that they're getting filled up more, because it wasn't, I think parents felt, oh, they had to be doing an award before they could actually fill it in, but actually the fact that they've made their bed and put the duvet cover on for the first time is a big achievement, and they get a picture on that. So that's made a big difference, and it's made children realise that everything they're doing is, something recognised and they're achieving regardless of what. With staff, it's been extremely positive. At St Michael's, we have a very proactive staff. They're always seeking to provide wonderful experience for the children anyway, and that was what we recognise as entitlement. So I think what they've really liked is the fact that the hard work that they do put in, the phone calls they make to work with partners and people going out into the community with the children, or inviting people in, has made a big difference, that it's getting recognised, and that all their efforts and hard work to actually, what we call bringing the real world into the classroom and taking the children out into the real world, is actually being recognised and celebrated, and it's allowing the children to be accredited for it. Certainly for parents, again, I think their perception has changed, and they are loving the fact that their children are coming. They have an actual sheet there with criteria for them to work towards. They can talk to the children about their learning. They can discuss, how are we going to achieve this? They're having so many learning conversations with their children, so it's not just happening with children and staff in school, they're actually having learning conversations at home, and that has made the parents very much aware that they have a role to play in supporting their children, and the parents are so enthusiastic themselves, and really the impact has been that once a child's achieved something, they're desperate to let us know. So again, as Ruth was saying earlier, that the emails, the pictures, the photographs, everything comes in because they're so delighted that the children are achieving. And again, they get to see just the journey book the same as the children, and they actually get a little sense of achievement when they start to see all the different activities being highlighted once they've been achieved. And obviously the enhanced partnership that has allowed us to develop again at St Michael's, where the parents really are communicating regularly with the school and the school's communicating, and everybody feels that they are all working together for the same goal, for our children to reach for the stars. The next steps would be, or what we're planning to do this term, is to consult with the staff, the children and the parents to look at what we've had this year and any tweaks that need to be put in place. We're very fortunate it goes now into the print unit with the journey books, so it's easy enough for us to change anything, and that's what's good about it. It's flexible, so that each year if a member of staff or children want to do something different for a year, they can be put in no problem. So a little bit of tweaking is required. Also, a big next step and a challenge is working with the secondaries, looking at the pre-existing awards such as the John Muir Awards, Saltire Awards, Duke of Edinburgh. How can this tie in and dovetail so that the work that the children have already done and the achievements that have been accredited, how can that then be carried on so that the children can be recognised by the time they get to secondary of what they have done, so that they can move seamlessly into these award schemes.